Welcome back. It is 6:14 on your Friday. This morning, we know just how much progress Austin Energy has made in trimming trees ahead of Central Texas's next detrimental weather event.
You'll remember the mess of tree branches left behind after this past February's ice storm, which are to blame for knocking out power for hundreds of thousands of customers.
CEO and founder of OpenTheBooks.com, Adam Andrzejewski, joins us. Good morning, Adam.
Good morning, Allison. Melanie.
Adam, before the power was even restored, your organization had the hard facts when it came to Austin Energy and tree trimming. Summarize your findings from last winter.
Well, it's important to follow the money. And as soon as the power went out in the city of Austin, we dove into the city checkbook and we found the dollars spent on tree trimming. And so it was 3 vendors. They spent about $12.3 million on tree trimming the previous year. It was about 1% of the Austin Energy budget. It just was not a priority at the utility. For example, we found that the city of Austin employed 173 PR professionals to the tune of total salary spend of about $13 million. They were spending more on public relations than they were on tree trimming. And of course, Allison, you remember the PR pros went dark when the power went out as well and didn't communicate with the citizens in Austin either.
Yeah, there was a lot of mess during that storm, and I think showing how much we really needed those trees getting taken care of. So now the city auditor just published a 20-page after action audit of what went wrong and the reasons why. What have you found in that?
Well, in terms of, they've got to go every year, every 7 years, every tree that needs trimming is trimmed. Well, the audit says that that's twice as long as comparable cities like in Nashville, Orlando, or Jacksonville. But the audit further found that the utility is so far behind on tree trimming, it's not taking them 7 years to trim the cycle. It's taking them up to 14 years to trim the cycle. So the utility has taken measures. For example, they used to have 3 vendors, as we pointed out, and now they've hired 4 more additional vendors for a total of 7. Rather than having a $12 million tree trimming budget, this year they're going to have a $20 million tree trimming budget. But I have to say they're so far behind. The audit report says they're not going to get on schedule until 2028. And Allison, that's just not acceptable. That's 5 years from now.
So, Adam, the City Council and Austin Energy are throwing millions of dollars at tree trimming. However, there are bureaucratic problems. Talk us through those issues.
Well, the management and accountability systems within the utility are broken. 2 examples. 1, a plan. They don't have a long-term plan. They don't have short, medium, and long-term goals in order to meet their tree trimming goal. And if you can't measure something, you can't manage it. Here's the second thing. Databases, and this goes right to accountability. They've got multiple databases with tree trimming data in them, and those databases don't talk to one another. They don't share information. And then furthermore, and this is very interesting, they audited the last 18 months of tree trimming jobs, and they found on 90% of their sample that the jobs didn't contain all the information. And they gave some examples of this. Dates out of order. So, for example, you have a situation where you've got a work in progress date that falls after a no work required date. Now, the audit calls this unexpected order, of course. But in Chicago, they would call that ghost payrolling.
So, Adam, we could see another ice storm sooner rather than later. We know tree trimming's been a weakness for at least the last decade. So how are city officials going to correct this massive problem?
So they've adopted the Office of City Auditors 2 recommendations. Number 1, get a plan. And they say they'll have the plan in place, and this is pretty stunning, by December of 2025. And then they've adopted the database plan to move up those accountability systems and make them functional. Again, they won't complete that till December of 2025. That's nearly 2026. We're in the year 2023. Look, Jackie Sargent, she's the head of the utility. She makes more than the President of the United States. She made $450,000 last year. The dates on becoming getting these systems in place, they're way too far out. It is unacceptable.
Always great information you share with us, Adam. Thanks for chatting with us this morning.
Thank you.